Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Sarah is born in the small village of Alana. The village elders are concerned about her large head, whispering that she might be cursed. Her parents, loving and protective, dismiss the gossip, believing she is a gift. As Sarah grows, she is a kind, gentle soul, yet the villagers begin to notice her physical differences. Her head, too large for her body, becomes the subject of ridicule, especially among the children. At the village festival, Prince Elias makes a cruel joke about Sarah's appearance in front of the crowd. His laughter echoes in the village square. Sarah feels humiliated but says nothing, retreating into silence. The prince's words linger in Sarah's mind. She spends her days avoiding the village center, ashamed of her appearance. Her self-esteem begins to crumble. Tired of the mockery, Sarah seeks refuge in the forest, where she can be alone and away from judgment. Here, she feels a small sense of peace. Sarah begins to enjoy the solitude of the forest, where she meets a wise old woman who lives there. The woman teaches Sarah about the healing herbs in the forest. As Sarah spends more time learning about plants and their properties, she discovers a natural talent for creating remedies. Her knowledge grows quickly, and she begins to feel a sense of purpose. The village faces a new challenge. A strange illness begins to spread, and no one can find a cure. The villagers are desperate for help, but they are still too proud to seek Sarah out. Prince Elias falls ill with the disease that is ravaging the village. Despite his previous mockery of Sarah, his condition worsens. The village healer, unable to find a cure, admits they are at a loss. The village elders begin to look for someone who can save the prince. There is talk of searching the forest for Sarah, though many still hesitate, too proud to ask her for help. Realizing his own life is at risk, Prince Elias orders his men to find Sarah. He begrudgingly admits that he might need her help. His pride is shattered, and his heart is filled with regret. Sarah is reluctant at first. She has spent years in isolation, and the pain of the prince's mockery still stings. However, her compassion for the villagers, especially the prince, who now seems vulnerable, drives her to help. Sarah returns to the village, unsure of how she will be received. The villagers stare, some still unsure of her, but there is an air of gratitude and desperation as she walks through the village gates. Sarah works tirelessly with her herbs, preparing remedies for the sick. She begins with the prince, making sure to give him the care he needs. The prince, humbled and apologetic, begins to see her in a new light. As Sarah tends to his wounds, Elias begins to feel deep remorse for his past actions. He remembers the way he mocked her and wonders how he could have been so cruel. As Sarah's remedies begin to take effect, the villagers slowly recover. Their appreciation for Sarah grows, but it is still hard for some to swallow their past behavior. While Sarah's skills heal the body, it is her quiet strength and kindness that truly begin to heal the hearts of the villagers. Her forgiveness begins to spread throughout the village. With the illness finally under control, the village holds a festival to celebrate their survival. Sarah is invited, and this time, she attends without fear of mockery. At the festival, Prince Elias approaches Sarah and humbly apologizes for his past cruelty. He acknowledges her greatness and promises to never judge someone based on their appearance again. The villagers, once too proud to acknowledge Sarah, now see her as a leader. They ask for her guidance and wisdom. Sarah's life is no longer defined by mockery, but by the respect and love she's earned through her actions. Sarah's life in the village begins to change. She is no longer the outcast, but rather, a revered figure. People seek her out for advice, and her talent as a healer is celebrated. Despite her newfound status, she remains humble, focused on helping others. With her growing influence, Sarah is asked to guide the village through a difficult time, helping to rebuild after the illness. She begins organizing the community, teaching them about the healing properties of plants and offering remedies for other ailments. Prince Elias, still recovering from the illness, often seeks Sarah's company. They begin to talk more openly, and he learns to appreciate her wisdom and strength. The prince, once arrogant, starts to develop a deeper understanding of what it means to be truly powerful. Under Sarah's guidance, the village flourishes. Crops grow, and the people are healthier, thanks to the healing knowledge she shared. There is a newfound sense of unity in the village, one that Sarah helped foster. Her quiet leadership style contrasts with the prince's former ways, and it proves to be the catalyst for long-lasting change. Elias faces his first test of humility when the village faces a drought. The villagers, used to relying on their prince for answers, turn to Sarah instead. Elias, who once thought he was the village's sole leader, has to learn to step aside and allow Sarah to guide them through the crisis. Sarah and Elias's relationship grows beyond healer and patient. They begin to form a genuine bond of friendship, built on mutual respect. Sarah teaches him that true leadership is not about ruling with power, but with compassion and care for others. The old woman from the forest, who first taught Sarah about herbs, reappears. She reveals that Sarah's destiny is far greater than just being a healer for the village. Sarah must now decide whether to stay in the village or take on a larger role that could impact many more lives. Sarah struggles with the decision. While she has grown attached to the village, the old woman's words echo in her mind. She knows her talents could help many more people. However, she fears leaving behind the home she has come to love. After much contemplation, Sarah decides to embark on a new journey. She will travel to neighboring villages, spreading the knowledge she has gained and helping others. Elias, although sad to see her go, understands the importance of her decision. He promises to continue her work in the village while she is away. The day Sarah leaves is filled with mixed emotions. The villagers gather to say their goodbyes, grateful for the transformation she has brought. Sarah promises to return one day, but for now, she must follow her path to help others. Sarah travels to distant villages, using her healing talents to help those in need. With each new place, she teaches people how to care for themselves and their communities. She grows not only in skill but in wisdom and understanding of human nature. As Sarah continues her journey, she encounters others who have faced ridicule and mockery, just as she once did. She shares her story with them, offering encouragement and a reminder that true power comes from within. The curse of mockery that once held her back is now a source of strength. Back in Ailments, Prince Elias struggles with his leadership role. While Sarah is away, his old arrogance begins to creep back. The villagers begin to wonder if he can maintain the peaceful unity she created. Elias is forced to confront his flaws once more. Elias receives a letter from Sarah, describing her travels and the people she's met. In her letter, Sarah writes about the importance of humility and healing, reminding Elias of the lessons he learned during his illness. The letter inspires him to return to his humble roots. With Sarah's words in mind, Elias begins to change his approach to leadership. He spends more time with the villagers, listening to their concerns and acting with kindness rather than authority. Slowly, the people begin to see him as a true leader, one who works for the betterment of everyone. Sarah returns to Ailments after several months of traveling. The village has changed in her absence, and so has Elias. She is welcomed with open arms by the villagers, who are eager to show her how much they have learned from her teachings. In honor of Sarah's return, the village holds a celebration. Elias publicly thanks Sarah for everything she has done for the village and the people. He now sees her not just as a healer, but as a true leader and friend. Sarah and Elias agree to work together to help more villages. They form a partnership that blends Sarah's healing knowledge and Elias' newfound leadership skills. Together, they bring prosperity and peace to the surrounding areas. One evening, as they sit beneath the fire tree, Sarah reflects on her journey. She realizes how far she has come from the girl who was once mocked. She understands now that her greatest strength came not from her head, but from her heart. Sarah shares her final lesson with the villagers: the world will always find reasons to judge you, but your worth is determined by how you respond. Never let the cruelty of others define who you are. As Sarah and Elias continue their journey to neighboring villages, Sarah reflects on the power of forgiveness. She recalls the prince's cruel mockery of her when she was younger, yet she never held a grudge. Elias, sensing her contemplation, asks her about forgiveness. Sarah explains that it is not for the benefit of the one who wronged you, but for the peace of the heart. Her words resonate deeply with Elias, reminding him of the grace he must extend to others, just as Sarah did to him. In each village they visit, Sarah is met with gratitude and admiration. People who had once faced ridicule or hardship find strength in her story. Sarah's journey becomes a beacon of hope for those who have suffered in silence, teaching them that their struggles do not define them, but how they rise from them does. As Sarah and Elias travel, they encounter a village that seems different. The villagers are not as welcoming, and there is a noticeable tension in the air. The villagers speak of a new ruler who is harsh and dismissive of Sarah's methods. Despite the warning, Sarah decides to stay, hoping her message of healing can bring peace. The new ruler, Lord Daxton, is a man whose arrogance rivals that of Elias before his transformation. He immediately dismisses Sarah's healing practices and accuses her of witchcraft. Elias tries to intervene, but Sarah steps forward, her calm demeanor and confidence now unshakable. She knows that she can change his heart, just as she changed his own. Lord Daxton challenges Sarah to prove her worth. He demands that she heal a sick child who has been suffering from a mysterious ailment. The challenge is daunting, but Sarah is not afraid. She uses her knowledge of herbs and healing methods, and after a tense night of preparation, the child begins to recover. Impressed by Sarah's skill, Lord Daxton begins to question his own beliefs. He confronts Sarah, humbled and apologetic. Sarah, with the wisdom she has gained over the years, teaches him that power comes not from dominance, but from kindness and understanding. Lord Daxton begins to see the value in Sarah's ways and promises to change his leadership approach. After Lord Daxton's transformation, Sarah and Elias speak to the villagers about unity. They explain that true leadership is about service, not control, and that healing can be both physical and emotional. The villagers, once wary, now accept Sarah's teachings. The village becomes a model of cooperation and peace. As they continue their journey, Sarah reflects on how far she has come. From the girl who was mocked for her appearance to the woman who now brings peace and healing to others, Sarah realizes that her path was not just about physical healing, but about mending hearts and minds. She knows her journey is not over, there are still many more villages to help. One day, they arrive in the village of Nisha, where they are greeted warmly by the villagers, who are in desperate need of Sarah's healing knowledge. A new illness is spreading, and the local healer is overwhelmed. Sarah quickly assesses the situation and begins working with the healer to create a plan. While working in Nisha, Sarah forms a close bond with the village healer, a woman named Mala. Mala, who had once been mocked for her own physical differences, finds solace in Sarah's teachings. The two women work together, blending their skills to cure the illness. Sarah realizes that healing is often a collective effort, and that her strength is enhanced when she works with others. Elias, who has now fully embraced his role as a leader, begins to accompany Sarah more frequently, learning from her every step of the way. Together, they are a formidable pair, her wisdom and his leadership combining to create lasting change wherever they go. As Sarah's reputation grows, she is invited to speak at a gathering of leaders from neighboring kingdoms. The invitation is a testament to her influence and the impact of her teachings. Sarah, though humbled by the honor, is unsure of how to proceed. Elias encourages her to accept, reminding her that her voice is one that needs to be heard. At the gathering, Sarah addresses the leaders, speaking not just about healing, but about the importance of compassion, humility, and the need to look beyond the surface. She encourages them to lead with love, not fear. Her words are met with respect, and several leaders express their desire to bring Sarah's teachings to their own lands. After months of traveling, Sarah and Elias return to Alana, the village where it all began. The village has grown even more prosperous, and the people greet Sarah with warmth and gratitude. Sarah feels a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that her work is far from over, but that the foundation has been laid. Despite the peace that has settled in Olana, a final test arises. A distant kingdom sends emissaries to challenge Sarah's methods, questioning the effectiveness of her teachings. They argue that traditional leadership methods are the only way to rule. Sarah must once again prove that healing, both physical and emotional, is the most powerful tool for bringing about lasting change. Sarah, undeterred, prepares a response that combines wisdom and grace. She speaks about the importance of empathy in leadership and the strength of a community that supports one another. Her response is so compelling that even the most skeptical leaders begin to reconsider their approach to ruling. As a symbol of unity, Sarah and Elias host a grand celebration in Olana, inviting leaders from all over the land. The village is now a model of peace, prosperity, and healing. It is a moment of triumph, but Sarah remains humble, remembering the journey that led her here. Sarah's legacy is cemented not just in Ailments, but across the land. Her teachings on humility, kindness, and healing are passed down from generation to generation. The villages she helped flourish, and the leaders she influenced, continue to spread her message of peace and compassion. On her final day, Sarah gathers the villagers to share one last lesson. True power is not in what you can take, but in what you can give. And the greatest strength comes from helping others rise, not from elevating yourself. These words become the guiding principle of Ailments for years to come. As Sarah looks out over the village of Ailments, she feels at peace. The girl who was once mocked for her appearance has now left a legacy of healing, humility, and love. She knows that her journey has changed the world, and that her story will live on in the hearts of all who heard it. Years have passed, and the village of Ailments has become a shining example of peace, prosperity, and unity. The land, once scarred by mockery and judgment, is now a place where kindness, healing, and compassion reign. Sarah, now an elder, looks out over the village that she helped transform. Her heart is full as she watches children run through the fields, their laughter a sound of hope and promise for the future. The village has flourished in ways she once dreamed of, and she knows that the changes she made will last for generations. The prince, now a wise ruler, leads with a gentle hand, having learned from Sarah that true leadership is not about control, but about love and service to others. Sarah stands beneath the fire tree, the same tree where her journey began, and reflects on everything she has learned. From a girl mocked for her appearance to a woman who healed both bodies and hearts, she has lived a life full of challenges, but also of growth, forgiveness, and love. The final lesson. Sarah smiles softly as she recalls the words she shared with the villagers many years ago. True power, she had said, is not in what you can take, but in what you can give. And the greatest strength comes from helping others rise, not from elevating yourself. Her legacy lives on, not in grand monuments or accolades, but in the hearts of those she touched. She has taught the people of Ailments and beyond that judgment is often a mask for ignorance and that the real beauty lies in kindness, humility, and strength of character. Sarah's journey has been one of profound transformation, not just for her, but for the entire world around her. The mockery she once endured became the fire that forged her into someone capable of changing lives. She now knows that pain, rejection, and hardship can become the greatest teachers, helping us discover our true selves and our purpose. As the sun sets over the peaceful village of Ailments, Sarah rests, knowing she has left the world a better place than she found it. Her work is done, but her teachings will endure forever. And with that, Sarah closes her eyes, at peace, knowing that her life's journey was the very lesson the world needed to learn. Never let the cruelty of others define you, for your greatest strength lies in your ability to rise above and share your gifts with the world. Please subscribe and follow our channel for more stories. Thanks for watching.